Yo, what is going on, everybody? I'm Midi80 and you are watching Platinum from the Past, where we dig up those old games and polish off those long overdue platinum trophies that we never got. This week, we have none other than a game that lets you design a completely different lifestyle and live it however you see fit. That game is none other than The Sims 3. For those of you who have never played a Sims game, this is, as I would describe it, an open world sandbox simulation type game where you get to create characters and live their lives, doing almost anything you want to do and however you want to do it. This game was developed by Exient Entertainment and published by EA. It was released on October 29th of 2010 for console. Online guides suggest that this game is rated a 5 out of 10 on the difficulty scale and is estimated to take about 30 hours to complete. With all of that stuff out of the way now, let's head over to that trophy list and see where we stand with this one and what more we need to do to earn this platinum trophy. Alright everyone, looking at the trophy list here, we can see that there are a total of 51 trophies and we only have earned 16 of them. That means we're missing 35 of these bad boys, both of those numbers including the platinum. We earned the first trophy on May 10th of 2011. This platinum trophy has been waiting 15 years to be earned, so let's not wait any longer and hop in and get done what needs to be done. Before we get into the trophies here, let's go ahead and meet our sim. Her name, Ursula Fishface. Why we chose that name? I have no clue. It's kind of just what came to us in the moment, so we ran with it. We did make her have a baby right away named, of course, Midi80 to be the successor of the family, but we're not gonna go ahead and get too attached to him. Reason being is because he didn't last more than about 2 weeks in Sims time. He was really unhappy one day at school and the government showed up and just took him away. So long Midi80, I guess. Ursula Fishface, though, is going to be the sim that brings us the glory and earns us this platinum trophy. So now you see her, you know who she is. Let's hop into her story and see how this one unfolds. These first trophies we're going to talk about here are the easy ones to get. They sometimes happen on accident, but really only take a few button clicks to make happen, and there isn't really much of a challenge to unlocking them. The first trophy in this group is for designing and saving 20 different styles using the Create a Style feature. To do this, just go to the Build menu, and you have the option to edit the color schemes and things of different furniture or things like that. We just chose to take a bunch of different couches and chairs and change the colors. We were not too invested in this feature because we didn't really care about that too much when it comes to designing the houses, so we didn't spend too much time on it. Just make sure to save the styles as you go and then select a new one and rinse and repeat. Once we hit the 20th one, we popped Stylizer. Oh, we've got one of these, right? Oh, there it is. Let's go. The next trophy we're going to talk about has to do with exploring the catacombs. Ursula Fishface found herself quite the adventurer here, and we went to the pause menu on the town logo, went over to the catacombs, and explored them. There's a bunch of different places in town to visit, so we'll be using this menu quite often. As we said, one of those places is the catacombs, and if we go there at night, we went about midnight or so, and just explored until she was done. Once she finished, we popped I Double Dare Ya. Oh, let's go! We got a trophy! Next one here is another super easy one to get. Ursula worked her butt off and finally decided that public transportation was not for us. To unlock this next trophy, all we need to do is save up some money and buy a car. The cheapest car in the game is 950 simoleons, and once we had enough money, went to the buy menu and bought a car. That popped the new car smell. Let's go. The next one on this list takes a combination of two separate things to be done. We had Ursula just sit down in front of the computer and play 10 hours worth of video games. And then we needed to watch 10 hours of TV. We used that time to upgrade our cooking or fishing skill, whatever was on the TV. Once we spent 10 hours doing each of those individual activities, we popped This Is So Meta. Oh, let's go. The next one here is just for writing a book. To do this, we just need a computer. I'm gonna mention this now, but this is a very lucrative skill that can pay out over time, so I would work on developing this one. Ursula had quite the obsession with aliens throughout her life, so a lot of her books had to do with aliens. The first book that she wrote, however, was titled How I Trapped My New Husband and Made Him My Slave. It actually is a great read, you should check it out. Once we finished and published that book, we popped Sim Author. Let's go. Ursula really got into the gardening scene early on in her life. She was really good at it too. Just like any skill, the more you do it, the better your sim gets at it. She was able to plant a wide variety of different plants. The better quality fruit or seed that you plant, by the way, equals a better quality plant that will grow. It also helps if you fertilize the plants as well, so we made sure to do that. And when we grew our first perfect plant, we popped Botanical Perfection. Challenge points. Let's go! When making Ursula, we needed to pick what she wanted to do, or her lifetime wish. After looking deep into her soul, we decided that she just wanted to be a chef. So we spent lots of time watching the cooking channel on TV and just cooking lots of random meals throughout the day. The better ingredients we have and the more often we cook the same food over and over, again, the better you get at it. We also got a stove that after we upgraded it prepares better quality meals. With all of these things combined, and thousands of waffles cooked and eaten, we finally were able to prepare the perfect waffle, earning us the trophy Fit for a King for preparing a perfect meal. I think that's those perfect waffles, right? Let's go! Yes! We did it! The next thing on Ursula's checklist was to attend a town event. There are always 1 to 2 events going on in town each week that you can find out what they are by just reading the paper. After checking the local paper, we saw that there was a food eating contest at 3 p.m. at the local restaurant. We went ahead and headed over to the diner and entered said contest and just waited around. We eventually finished and look at that, we took first place in the eating contest. And because we attended a town event, we popped Sim About Town. Place first, let's go. Oh, let's go! It's about time that we introduce a new member of the family that we have not talked about yet. Let's meet Van. He was a sim that was coming around and hanging out at Ursula's house a lot and always seemed to clean up after her. Watching him walk into our house after being invited and doing the dishes, we realized he is the one. So we made his and Ursula's relationship flourish to the point of marriage. Now that they're living together, we can control him, and Van always wanted to throw a party for some reason. So we let it happen. We threw a party and invited one person over. This was more than just any party though. It was an epic party. And for throwing such an awesome, unforgettable party, we popped the Epic Party Trophy. Let's go, yes! Now, there was a problem with Van. Because he was kidnapped and forced to be Ursula's slave around the house, always cleaning up and bringing home money by painting every day, locked in the same room, he kind of got fed up with it and snuck out of the house from time to time. Looking back at it, him and Ursula never even went on a proper date together. Well, while out, Van started having a fling with the neighbor lady and went out with her and met up to get some drinks. We went in, selected invite out from the character's cell phone, and met up for drinks with the neighbor and let them just have a date, earning us it's a date. Let's go, yes! One life event we haven't had the chance to mention yet either was the life between Ursula and Van. Things weren't always so bad that made Van run out on his family. Things used to be really good, so good that him and Ursula had a baby together. To make this happen, they had to have a full relationship bar and selected from the option menu when you click on them to try for a baby. And sure enough, that's what they did. Now, it isn't guaranteed and doesn't happen every time, but if you hear some baby music right after, finishing the deed, it means that your family will grow. Now, we know that our first child didn't work out, like mentioned before, and got taken away, but this time will be different. I'm sure of it. And after a little time of waiting around, a baby was born. We did name the baby Dottie Lou after the twins my wife and I just actually had in real life. But after Ursula had the baby, we went ahead and popped once a parent, always a parent. Ursula spent a lot of her time working and investing around town. She started getting tired of her home and thought that she needed something more. So we went on the computer and decided to move. We selected a big 2-story house to honor all of the success that we had throughout her life, and after selecting move into the house and moving in, we went and popped moving on up. Let's go. Now this game had a really interesting system where you could have up to 4 different wishes that your sim wanted at any time. You just need to complete these as you played through their life. Different sims with different traits all wanted different things. Some of these are as easy as take a bath, find a rock, or even chat with someone. And some are a lot harder and require mastery of certain traits and skills. Also, after completing wishes, you earn lifetime happiness points that you can spend to unlock different skills like being a legendary host and always throwing great parties, or steel bladder that lets you not have to use the restroom as much, and even fast learner that lets you learn skills faster. The amount of points you receive are tied to the difficulty of the wish. After completing 100 wishes for all of the sims that you are playing as collectively, you're gonna pop Wishmaster. Oh, let's go! The next thing we're going to cover here are the different challenges you can complete throughout the game. These range from doing things such as cooking a perfect meal, catching a perfect fish, reading different books that are in the game, mastering skills, career goals, and so much more. They are little goals to kind of work on throughout your sim's career and even just life that make the game a little more fun. Some of the challenges had to do with buying out the properties in town. At the time, Ursula worked as a criminal and she was working herself all the way up the ranks. We saved up enough money to buy out the deed to the property, which would earn us money every single week that we can collect. Just residuals, you could say. But buying out the property also earned us the owned trophy, as well as that was the 50th challenge we completed in-game, and that earned us challenging. Oh, let's go! We got a trophy! Owned. Oh, look at that! We got 2 trophies! The next set of trophies we are going to label as harder trophies in the bunch. These aren't really hard to do, so I wouldn't want to say hard trophies, but they aren't really a grind either. These are just harder than easy, but not necessarily hard, I guess. And some of them are kind of RNG driven and take a little bit more time than normal. The first one here we're going to talk about goes back to what we mentioned with the Wishmaster trophy. This one has to do with lifetime happiness points that we talked about before for completing wishes. For these, we got lucky with Van because he had the neat trait. What that means is daily, we would have the other sims just leave messes like dirty dishes, old newspapers, puddles around the house, and they just didn't clean up after themselves. Him, being the neat freak that he is, would always get the wish to clean up the dishes, clean the house, mop up puddles, things like that. And then after he would do one of those, he would then get the wish that says, "You stink, take a bath." So there were times where we could pop like 8 wishes at a time, just cleaning, then showering, and so on. This let us build up our lifetime happiness points with Van, and once we got 150k with just Van, we popped Genie. Oh, let's go! Yes! When we started out in The Sims, Ursula had to pick an affordable house that wasn't too out of her budget. As time went on, we earned more money, and we were slowly able to upgrade our house. We added an addition with some workout stuff and fun things to do like a foosball table, upgraded the kitchen appliances, got different utilities in the house, and just kept investing in our sim. When the house finally gained enough value, 35,000 to be exact, we popped Home is Where the Simoleons Are. Let's go. The next one here was one that took some time to get and some RNG as well. We ended up buying a fireplace and placing it in the house. We then bought a bunch of rugs and placed them underneath the fireplace because, you know, why not? Those are flammable. What we did next was take Dottie Lou and had her just poke and play with the fire. I think the thing that made this trophy work was the fact that her handiness skill wasn't very high, so when she messed with the fire, it was more or less she didn't know what she was doing. But what we needed to have happen was we needed Dottie to start a fire. Now, for this trophy, it's important to have a sim with the brave trait, which we lucked out, and Van, who we kidnapped, married into the family, just so happened to have. When Dottie was playing with the fire, she ended up catching on fire, and we had Van rush over and put her out. For extinguishing a sim on fire, we popped, but it's inflammable. Let's go! We did it! Yes! The next few trophies are all going to talk about things to do with the karma powers. You earn karma points every night, as well as getting 1 karma point for every wish completed. You can bank a total of 100 karma points at a time to spend on these different powers. These powers need to be purchased and unlocked and can be found in the challenge menu for exactly what you need to do for each of them. The more you use the good powers, bad things will happen to kind of even out the scales. So just be careful how you use them. The first one we're going to talk about is one of the negative karma powers, Firestorm. This power sends down a bunch of fireballs and can light things on fire. When things are lit on fire and burn, after the fire is done, you'll get an insurance check to compensate you for your losses. We had to kind of cheese this one a little bit because we just could not burn enough things at once. So what we did is we laid down a whole bunch of beds with a whole bunch of expensive rugs underneath, and then used the Firestorm ability. When it looked like the fire was about to die out, we would just go ahead and pop the Firestorm again. After using all that we could and everything was said and done, we ended up receiving a check for over 15,000 simoleons for the damage and popped Pyromaniac. Let's go! We did it! The next trophy here is again for using one of the negative karma effects, Epic Fail. This karma causes the selected sim to have bad luck and fail at things for the duration of the effect. It is a pretty funny thing to throw out there and watch a sim fail every now and then. For this trophy though, we need to use the Epic Fail karma on 13 unsuspecting sims who are not in our family. We would just go to the different parks on random days after we built up enough points and just watch sims fail. After that 13th person got hit with the Epic Fail, we popped Epic Fail. Let's go, Epic Fail. We talked about the different negative powers, but now let's talk about some of the positive powers you can unlock. There are ones varying from making all of your Sims' needs met, to making them lucky for a period of time, to randomly making it rain money. Again, be careful using all these powers, because randomly at midnight when you get your chunk of karma, the game will sometimes balance the scales and hit you with some negative effects that could just be a little disruptive. When you first start a game and open the karma menu, you will see a lot of the powers are locked behind different challenges. After you do said challenges, you can buy the karma power with the challenge points you earn. After going through and unlocking all of the good karma powers, you're gonna pop Power Overwhelming. Let's go. Yes. Just like real life, every Sim's life comes to an end at some point. Because we got really attached to our Sim, Ursula, we made sure to turn the settings to the longest aging possible for our Sims so we could get the most out of them. When Ursula hit right about 1,000 days old in Sims time, her time had come to an end, and the Grim Reaper showed up to take her away. An interesting mechanic of this game is the karma powers, like we mentioned before. There's one specifically that lets you resurrect a Sim family member. When the Grim Reaper showed up, we hurried over to Ursula's ghost before she disappeared, and then used the Resurrect Sim, which is a good karma option on her. This brought her back to life at the beginning of her elder age, so about 800 days old or so. She kept all of her skills and stuff that she had, and we got to have another chance at life from there. Also, bringing back her ghost happened to be a challenge in the challenge menu as well, so we ended up popping 2 trophies there. For reviving a family Sim member, we got Not Dead Yet, and for completing our 100th challenge, we popped Very Challenging. Not dead yet. Oh, let's go. Let's go. The next trophy here has to do with Ursula and her affiliation in the crime career. We worked our way all the way to the top of the chain and was at career level 10. When we went over to the job at the warehouse, there was an option to become a partner of the Paragon Personal Private Charity Warehouse. This cost 15K to do, and we decided, hey, let's go and do it. So we paid the 15K, became a partner, and earned the trophy, Partners in Crime. Oh, let's go. Partners in crime. The next trophy, we had Ursula become best friends with her boss and all of her coworkers. When you go to work, there are many options you can select to let your Sim know how to work, whether that be work hard, suck up to your boss, slack off, or even get to know your coworkers. For this trophy, we had Ursula alternate between hanging out with our coworkers and doing jobs for the boss, which built our relationship meter. We then hit a point where the people in our career were our friends. and we just invited them over and just chatted it up a bit until we became best friends with our boss and our co-worker. As soon as we were all best friends, we popped working friends. Let's go, yes. The last trophy in this category here we had to do ended up getting done with Dottie Lou. When she finally grew up and became an adult, we were able to talk with Sims and start relationships. The trophy here requires us to have 5 romantic relationships. The way it counts for this trophy is when you get the option to suggest to go steady or be in a relationship, it will count that as 1 romantic relationship. And then when you get engaged, it counts it as 1 as well. Since Ursula and Van got engaged and then married, we had 2 out of the 5 required relationships done. When in public one day, Dottie Lou aged up to a young adult and we found a Sim that we hadn't talked to yet, but they were in a relationship. We worked our way into their life and suggested that they leave the Sim that they're with already. They agreed and we ended up dating and then getting engaged with her. That gave us 2 more ticks on this trophy, so we were 4 out of 5. So right away we broke up and realized we needed 1 more relationship. We found someone else who we hadn't met yet, and they were in a relationship as well. So we did the same thing. After driving that Sim and their partner apart, we suggested going steady and the Sim agreed. Right after that happened, we immediately broke it off, of course, because we're all about the drama. Wanted that to circulate the town. But that was our 5th romantic relationship, and we popped Matchmaker. These next trophies are all earned through the grind. Some are a little easier to get, but will most likely be some of the last trophies you get in your playthrough. The first 2 trophies we were able to pop together and had to be done with little Dottie Lou. We got to choose her lifelong wish that we wanted her to accomplish throughout her life as a Sim. The main goal here was to complete her life wish before she was a young adult. We ended up choosing the artist wish, where the goals were basically to max out the writing and the painting skills. So every day after school, instead of doing homework, we would work on typing up a book, and when she got super stressed with that, we'd have her paint a picture. After long hours of not studying and countless hours of writing books and painting, we finally were able to max out her painting and writing skills, which popped us 2 trophies: Child Prodigy for being young and completing our lifetime wish, and just for completing a lifetime wish, we popped Dream Big. Let's go. Yes! The next trophy comes from mastering skills. This doesn't just mean mastering them by getting them to max level, but true mastery of the skills. Positive thing here with this one is that every person in the house contributes to this, and we need to have 10 true masteries total between all of the skills. These vary from running for 80 hours, writing like 35 books, fixing a bunch of stuff around the house, painting so many masterpieces, and etc. Like I said, there's some for every skill. Easiest way to look is to pull up the skills menu, and it will tell you what the requirements are for each skill. Also, every skill has 2 or 3 different true masteries, and again, everybody contributes to those. After we get a total of 10 throughout the whole household, you pop Elite Skills. Let's go, yes! The next one comes down to a grind for money. We had Ursula invest and buy out all 11 businesses in town, which would bring a residual of close to 100,000 simoleons every week. Then, with all the money we got every week from book royalties, Ursula's jobs, Van's paintings, Dottie Lou's books, we saved up enough money to move into a 2-story expensive mansion. But just moving into the house wasn't enough. We needed to increase the value of the house to over 350,000 simoleons. To do this, we went to the decorations and bought some super expensive fountains, statues, just the most expensive things. When we resumed the game, the value of the lot shot up to over 350,000, and we earned the Master Architect trophy. Let's freaking go, yes! The next trophy has to do with becoming a public enemy, as it describes. There are 5 different stages here that need to be done to be recognized as such. We needed to mess with some of Van's traits to make this happen, so we made him a klepto as well as evil. This allowed us to do multiple tasks on this list with him. First thing on the list is to return a stolen item. You can steal stuff, but only after 7 p.m. or so in the game, and then after you steal it, you go go and click on a mailbox and return the stolen item. Next, we just need to be mean 10 times. Any sim can do this in any normal conversation. Just select be mean 10 times. Then we need to steal 20 items. Again, you can only select to steal stuff after 7 p.m. when nobody is watching, and you can only swipe 3 things a day. Sometimes when your sim is out, they'll randomly steal stuff and you'll get a message, but this is the surefire way to do it. This one will take a little bit. The fourth thing we need to do is steal candy from a baby 5 times, which we did with the neighbor kid, who happened to be Van's love child with a neighbor. Anyways, we went over and stole candy from him multiple times. This can be done with the same kid over and over. Again, just needs to do it 5 times. And then finally, we needed to become enemies with 15 sims. We ended up using Lou for this because Van was somehow friends with everyone in town, something to do with one of his traits and a very high charisma score. So we just had Lou running around, being mean to everyone, enough to where we can declare them our nemesis. That was the last thing we needed to do, and after all 5 of those things on the list were complete, we popped the Reliver. The next 2 trophies we popped at the same time. They have to do with earning happiness points as well as completing challenges from the challenge menu. Again, like we mentioned before, having a neat sim like Van and just having everybody else leave messages for him everywhere was a quick way to get a lot of happiness points. He just wanted to clean and then shower and clean and shower a lot, and that helped out. When we finally reached 250,000 lifetime happiness points with one sim, we ended up popping True Wealth, and hitting that achievement in game happened to be our 150th completed challenge in the game, earning us Uber Challenging. Let's go! Oh wait! Let's go! Yes! And finally, we are down to the last 2 trophies. This one is the one that will take the longest to do. This has to do with completing wishes of your sims. Again, Van played a huge role in wanting to always clean and be clean. Everyone truly played a role for this one. For this trophy, you need to complete 1,000 wishes. Again, some are as easy as playing chess, finding rocks, finding seeds, and so on. So those are the ones that we want to be hyper focused on. But some do take time, and we had already started working on them, so we didn't want to just abandon them. Some ways to get some wishes to appear are to talk to sims a lot, start new careers, start working on different skills, and things like that. Play into their traits. After grinding it out and completing our 1,000th wish, the story of Ursula Fishface comes to an end, and we earned Miracle Worker, as well as that platinum trophy, Master of Simology. That's it. Let's go! Let's go! Yes! And there we have it, folks. Another platinum trophy in the books. This was our 70th platinum trophy and a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing the game and creating all of this fake drama throughout the sim community and then sharing that with my wife. I can see why people like playing this game. The only time we started to lose interest was when the only thing we had left to do was the 1,000 wishes and had about 650 done. We stopped focusing on that and just playing the game, and it ended up happening in no time. Super fun game, really. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, and please let me know what you thought in the comments below. I stream these games live over on Twitch, so feel free to check me out over there, link in the description, and consider subscribing if you are new and enjoyed the content. Let's watch the rest of this marble race and see what game is going to be our next platinum trophy. Alright everyone, there it is, Puppeteer. I honestly do not remember a lot of this game, and am looking forward to something different. Thank you everyone again for the support, now get the heck out of here.